Hey guys, welcome to game 2 of my campaign series using the Double Doombulls list. And in this game I will be facing a Tomb Kings player who is actually using double level 4 casters. So we'll address the question, do you want 2 fighty lords or do you want 2 casting lords? So as to deployment, on the top left my opponent has a flying hero killing blow sphinx. I don't know what the actual name of that is. Then he has 50 skeletons, and in there he has a Tomb Prince with a great weapon and armor of destiny, as well as a BSB who had the glittering scales and the sword of striking. And behind them, he has a bunker with 23 archers with his 2 level 4 casters. He has 1 level 4 of light and 1 level 4 of the Tomb King's lore. Then he has 20 Grave Guard, or sorry, Tomb Guard with hand weapon shield, and they have full command. And I assume they also have the Banner of the Undying Legion, though that was not used this game. Then he has a War Sphinx, and behind the War Sphinx, it might be a little bit difficult to see, is the Casket of Souls. And in support, he's got a unit of 3 chariots with full command. So opposed to him, starting on my right, I have 5 Ungor Raiders with short bows, another 5 Ungor Raiders with short bows, a unit of 25 Gores with full command. I don't give them extra hand weapons or shields or anything like that because I feel like additional strength 3 attacks is not really worth it. Then I have 35 Gores with full command, and I have a unit of 8 Minotaurs, and in there I've got my 3 characters. So I still have an extra 150 points to put into my list from one of the campaign bonuses, so instead of taking the Dragon Ogres this game, I've added 3 Minotaurs to this unit, so I've really got a Death Star full of Minotaurs. And behind them, I have the 3 mages, so 2 level 1s of Beasts and a level 2 of Shadow, and I've got the Hearthstone with them. And all 3 of my characters are in the Minotaur unit, by the way, and they have not changed, except the BSB is given a great weapon. Then I have a unit of 30 Bestigors with Banner and Musician. And here's another picture of the Tomb Kings, and this is actually Tomb King's turn 1. So he moves up relatively tentatively, keeping his lines intact. I don't think he wants to get into combat right away. In the magic phase, he gets let Net of Amatoch go off on the Minotaurs. I mean, they're strength 5, so I have a 1 in 6 chance of the spell actually doing anything. I mean, if I do roll a 6, that would be pretty bad because it means my main combat block can't do anything. But if I don't, then the spell, it's not going to do much to me, so I'm not too worried about it. So we go to Beastman turn 1, and I pass my strength test, so I don't fail that. And I move up as aggressively as possible. I'm really not worried about his lines or his combat blocks. I think my Minotaurs will chop through the skeletons, and yeah. So I want to get into him as quickly as possible because I'm more worried about his magic phases really, really putting the hurt on me, especially at the Casket of Souls. And he also has a Hyro Titan. He was obscured in the previous picture, but he has a Hyro Titan, so he gets the Casket of Souls, which gives him an extra D3 dice, and then the Hyro Titan gives him an extra D3 casting for each spell. So there's a lot of magic being thrown around here. But I move up, yeah, as you can see, as quickly as possible. I keep my Gores, my small unit of Gores, a little bit back, and I move the first unit of Ungor Raiders in the way of the Chariots so that they can't charge my smaller block, and hopefully, if they do charge the Ungor Raiders, I'll hold, and then I'll countercharge with him. I'll countercharge him with the smaller block of Gore, the Black Gore on the right. So in the magic phase, preemptively, I get +1, I put a Wissen's Wild Form on here. The +1 strength doesn't really do much for me, but the +1 toughness will help, considering his Sphinx, his War Sphinx, that's most likely going to come charging into these guys. He's got a strength 4 breath weapon and his strength 5. So that should help me save a couple of guys here. And I reduced the strength of his Flying Sphinx by just 1, and I'm really just worried about him coming into my Minotaurs, or if he does come into my Vestigores, he'll be wounding or killing me on 4s instead of 5, or instead of 3s, so that'll help a lot. So Toon King's turn 2. So this is something that I didn't expect. He played very aggressively with the skeletons, who are, I guess, weapon skill 5, so that makes them harder to kill. And he also flies in his Flying Sphinx with the heroic killing blow attacks right into the flank of my Minotaurs. Now, on that flank, I have my 1-up rerollable armor save Doombull, and I'm really worried about that Strength 10 heroic healing blow attack. So that has got me a little bit concerned, and I'm just kind of kicking myself for putting him on that corner. I should have maybe put my Ninja Bull on that corner because he's pretty much only going to get hit on 6s, which is a far better or defense than a 1-up rerollable armor save against a Strength 10 heroic killing blow attack. So yeah, kind of kicking myself for that one. But then in the magic phase, he has, a very strong magic phase, and he gets the 5+ ward save off, and it's the bubble version. So the skeletons have a 5+ ward save, as does the Sphinx. And then he also gets the extra attack spell off, which I'm not too worried about that one. But the 5+ ward save is really going to save a lot of his skeletons. He also charges the War Sphinx into my unit of 35 gore, so I'm pretty good with that. I know I'm never going to win that combat, but the idea there is just to hold him up as long as possible. And my BSB will be in range, but Leadership 8 rerollable again. Not that great. He doesn't take the bait with the chariots and doesn't charge my chapstick, which makes sense because why would you? Knowing that the gore are right there. He does shoot at them, and since he always hits on 5s, irrespective of shooting through a forest and me being skirmishers and stuff, he actually kills 2 of these guys. And his bunker shoots at my Bestigors and takes out 2 of them. So we go to combat, and wow, the War Sphinx absolutely chewed through my unit. I just did not expect that. I started with 35, and I'm down to 24 right now. So I lost 9 guys despite being toughness 5. So yeah, imagine if I'd only been toughness 4, I think I would have lost it like maybe 3 or 4 more. So he's chewing through this unit much faster than I anticipated. But I actually do sneak a wound through, but I'm steadfast and I hold. And then in this combat, so what I do is I take my 1-up rerollable armor save Doombull, and I challenge with him. And in the first round, he accepts with a champion. So my Doombull easily kills the champion, but it prevented him from attacking me with his heroic killing blow flying monster in the flank. So it meant that that monster could only attack the Minotaur unit. So we go through combat. I ended up taking 5 wounds, so I only lose 1 Minotaur. And I ended up killing, after combat resolution, I think 17 of his guys. That 5+ ward save really saved a ton of his guys. So after crumbling, I reform my Minotaurs to get an extra 2 guys in combat, which should give me an extra 8 attacks, provided he doesn't kill some of my Minotaurs before they get to strike. So I feel pretty good about that, and I should be able to grind this unit down eventually. I mean, I have easily like 1,200 points of Minotaurs in that unit, so they should be able to deal with a skeleton horde. So Beastman turn 2, I charge the Bestigors into the flank of the flying Sphinx, and then my Black Gore try to charge the chariots and fail, so they stumble up a couple inches there. And because I failed there, I moved my 3 remaining Ungore right in front of the chariots, so all that they can do is either reform or charge me their next turn. And if he does that, then I should have another easy charge with the Black Gore into that chariot unit, so I'm hoping, I feel good about that. So, my magic phase didn't do much, he shut it down. So we go to this fighting here, and surprisingly, now that I'm only toughness 4, he only kills 4 guys. So go figure, I mean, he did spend his ref weapon last turn, but I should be easier to kill, but he kills less. So I'm not going to complain about that, and we just end up sticking around there. Actually, I won combat, and he by 1, or just by a musician, and because he's an undead construct, he doesn't crumble. And then, wow, in the center, this really surprised me. So my 1-up rerollable Doombull challenges, and he accepts with his Tomb Prince, who's got a great weapon, so he's going to be strength 6, but it will always be striking last. And I only get 1 wound through, but he does no wounds to me, so it's a bit of a pillow fight there. And then my Minotaurs, the rest of my Minotaurs go to town on his unit. I mean, kill a whole bunch of other guys. I think I killed about 10 more. And then the Bestigors just absolutely did nothing. I think they put 1 wound through, which, I mean, they needed 6s to wound. Oh, actually, sorry, they have Wissen's Wild Form on them. They needed 5s to wound. And yeah, just couldn't get any wounds through. And then the Sphinx strikes back at them, and between his attacks and his Thunderstomp, kills 8 guys. I only ended up winning this combat by 3 points, which really surprised me. And at this point, I'm wondering, how is it that my 2 best fighting blocks and my 3 combat characters can't chew through a block of 50 skeletons? I was just baffled by this. And this is what it looks like after the crumble. So I only killed like 2 extra guys on the crumble. I only won by a couple, but the good thing is I still did win, and my Minotaurs were just racking up the extra attacks here. So Tomb King's turn 3. These skeleton chariots on the right of the frame charge into the 3 Ungor Raiders, and they actually lose a chariot on the way in because he failed one of his impact hit rolls, and it just crushes a chariot in one go. So I'll sacrifice 3 Ungor Raiders for an enemy chariot any day. Now the big thing here was that I was able to shut down his magic phase, so he was able to regrow a couple of guys because he got extra attacks for the smiting one, but I made sure that he didn't get the 5+ ward save or weapon skill initiative 10 or the always strikes first spells. I made sure to shut down those because I really didn't want his guys to be any better defensively. I need to chew through them as quickly as possible. So we go straight to combat. As expected, the chariots wipe out those 3 Ungors, and I just remove them off the table. And he kills another 5 Ungor raid, he kills another 5 Gors with the War Sphinx, but we end up sticking around there. And wow, this is something I did not expect. The Minotaurs absolutely went to town. My Doombull killed his Tomb Prince, and the rest of the unit just ate through his guys. I wasn't able to kill his War Sphinx. I think he was down to 1 wound, but after everything was said and done, the skeletons were just vaporized, and it ended up crumbling his BSB as well as his Sphinx. So I feel really good about that, and the good thing is I killed him on his turn, which means on my turn I'm free to charge things, and I'm really, really liking it now. So that's what I do. The Bestigors go into the Hyro Titan, and I feel good about that. That's the best matchup I have. He's only toughness 6, so I'll be winning him on 4s. The 1-up rerollable Doombull goes straight into the Hierophant Bunker, and obviously that's a wonderful matchup for me. I'm just gonna, right now, I'm up to 9 attacks, plus the impact hits, plus the stomp. I feel like I'm gonna make short work of those skeletons. The BSB and Ninja Bull charge out of the Minotaur unit and into the Tomb Guard, and between the 2 of them, I think I should fare reasonably well against his Tomb Guard. And the regular Minotaurs just reform to face the War Sphinx because the Gors on that flank are probably not going to be steadfast for much longer. And of course, the Black Gore charge the chariots, and they fail it again. They rolled something like a double 1. I mean, these guys just don't want to get into combat. So I send up my second Chaff Stick, and I put them in front of that unit so that he can charge again if he wants to, but he's going to steal like another 30-point unit, and I should be able to charge him, hopefully, next turn. So I get the Wissen's Wild Form up on this unit because toughness 5 is better than toughness 4 against strength 5, so I'm hoping that maybe I'll be steadfast for at least 1 more turn. And we go straight into combat. I didn't get any other spells off, and wow, these 2 Minotaur characters absolutely went through this unit. Between the 2 of them, they killed like 15 guys, and the other 5 just crumbled, so that was over very, very quickly. And I overran a couple of inches. This was a huge bloodbath. I mean, I was expecting to kill his Pyro Titan, or maybe I got a little bit lucky, but I rolled double ones on my Primal Fury, so I got an additional 4 attacks. So with 12 attacks, with rerolls, I was going to take this thing down. But he wasn't going down without a fight. Between his Thunder Stomps and his regular attacks, he ended up killing 7 Bestigor back. So this is a very, very bloody exchange, but again, I'll take it because his Hyro Titan's out of the game. And yeah, as you might expect, the 1-up rerollable armor save Doombull did a couple of wounds through impact hits and stomps. I actually put 6 attacks on his level 4 Hierophant and only did 2 wounds. I mean, this guy doesn't even have a save or anything. He has a 6-up regen save, so a little bit unlucky there, but I mean, I can't complain. I should be able to put as many, or a bunch of attacks on the skeletons next round and maybe crumble the entire unit just through combat res. And the War Sphinx actually broke the Gores. He killed another 5 guys, and I ended up fleeing, but he did not pursue me because it was going to be his turn next, so he reformed to take out these Minotaurs. So Tomb King's turn 4. The skeleton chariots charge into the Ungor Raiders, as you might expect, and the War Sphinx charges into the Minotaurs. Neither of those are good matchups for me, but I think at this point the Minotaurs have delivered my Minotaur characters, so that's as much as I can really expect out of them. In the magic phase, he gets up extra attacks on the War Sphinx, and it actually heals up any wounds that I did to him earlier. So he's at full wounds now, and he goes crazy and kills. He actually does 7 wounds to my Minotaurs, which surprised me. But they end up sticking, actually, which is very important. So I rolled something like Insane Courage. And over here, I kill his level 4 Hierophant and a bunch of the other skeletons. So I'm slowly chewing away through this unit. I should be able to just focus attacks on the skeletons next round, and that should be it for his 2 level 4s. And the Ungor Raiders just explode, as you might expect, but now these Black Gore are in a really, really good position to charge. So we'll see if they ever decide to want to get into combat. So Beastman turn 4. I turn my BSB around, I turn the Bestigors around, everything staring down at that War Sphinx. The Black Gore finally decide that they want to fight those chariots and get into them. And my Ninja Bull actually makes the charge into the Casket of Souls, so I'm feeling good about that. And sad insult to injury for my opponent. I mean, my 10 Ungor, or my 10 Gore actually end up rallying, so that was nice that I don't lose all those points. In the magic phase, I reduce his weapon skill by 1, but that doesn't end up doing much. And yeah, so the 25 Gore go into these chariots and do all but 1 wound, so his last chariot is sitting there with 1 wound left. The Ninja Bull easily takes care of the Casket of Souls and overruns almost off the table. And yeah, the 1-up rerollable armor save bull just eats the rest of the skeletons, and the level 4 in that unit crumbles. And I turn him around to look at the War Sphinx. And the War Sphinx actually fluffs his attacks and doesn't do anything. And we go to Tomb King's turn 5. All that's left for him to do is attack the Minotaurs, and he kills both of them outright this turn. And as you might expect, Skeleton crumbles just the combat res alone. So on Beastman turn 5, I charge my 1-up rerollable armor save Doombull into the War Sphinx, as well as my BSB, who has a great weapon, so he's strength 7. So if my impact hits don't do it, at least I can wound him on 5s with the BSB. And then in the magic phase, I reduce his weapon skill by 2, and I reduce his strength by 1. And as you might expect, yeah, that's all she wrote. The BSB didn't even get to attack. The 1-up rerollable armor save Bull did his attacks, and he's up to 5 plus, it looks like 7 tokens. He's up to 12 attacks at this point, so he just completely ran through this guy. He was an absolute tank this game. So, yeah, so that's the last shot of the game. And obviously it was a victory for the Beastman. Again, the Doombulls did not disappoint. They just absolutely ate through everything, and the Minotaurs were again the key to the win. The rest of the army was just like last game. Chaff. I mean, the Bestigors actually did what they were supposed to do. They're good monster hunters, and they're able to whittle down that flying War Sphinx, and they were able to kill the Hyro Titan. So they did their job, and then the Chaff just held up chariots, and my small unit of Gors um, killed those chariots, and my big unit of Gors held up his War Sphinx for the rest of the game until I was able to deal with it with my big guys. So as to the campaign, I get one token, which is nice. And so for each one of these games, I will be recording how much each one of my three characters killed in that round. And my characters did really, really well this game. So Jensen Hyde, so the one-up rerollable Doombull, killed 2 level 4 wizards, the Tomb Prince, 24 skeletons, and a War Sphinx. Then Arntusk, my Ninja Bull, killed 12 skeletons, half the unit of Tomb Guard, and then cleaned up the Casket of Souls at the end of the game. And Tomolrask, my Gorbil BSB, killed 13 skeletons, and as well as the other half of the Tomb Guard unit, so he killed 10 Tomb Guard. So over the course of the campaign, in the first 2 games at least, Jensen Hyde has killed 10 Skinks, 25 Temple Guard, 2 level 4 wizards, a Tomb Prince, 24 skeletons, and a War Sphinx. So he's doing really, really well for himself. Arntusk is also doing pretty well, having killed 24 Saurus Warriors, a level 2 Priest, 12 Skeletons, 10 Tomb Guard, and a Casket of Souls. And Tomolrask has added 23 guys to his kill count, so now he's up to looks like 34 guys over 2 games. So I mean, 34 guys over 2 games. These characters are absolutely amazing. So I really enjoy playing with this list. It worked out really well this game. It was a very favorable matchup for me. So I hope you guys enjoyed it as well.